All right. Qualifying is over. It's time to eliminate 3 drivers from the playoffs. For starting on the front row will be Harley Barletta and Jason Rome. David Garman and Jared Heasley on the second row. Kyle Holden, Jody Ogden in the third row. Kevin Reed and Zach Henson on the fourth row. Jeff Hinkle and Richie West on the fifth row. Mike Smith and Matt Johnston are currently on the sixth row. AJ Godsey and Rick Sargent rounding out the field. And gonna do a quick look here and see AJ Godsey has gridded, as has Rick. So these two guys, AJ in the playoffs comes into tonight in fourth. He's gonna have to pick his way all the way through the field. And of course, Jason Rome, we talk about it every time, and I know he has worked really hard on his restarts. So hopefully he will not spin the tires and pull a Rome, or as he likes to call it, a Canadian restart. Huge shout out to the guy, though. He put in a lot of extra time over the last few weeks practicing to make sure that he does not spin the tires on restarts anymore. Just waiting on our pole sitter, Harley Barletta. He was having a little problem with his youngin' getting him into bed, so getting him to lay down for his nap. So we will see if he gets gridded here in the next few seconds. If not, he'll have to start from pit road or from the back of the field, depending. 14 cars here, 9 of them in the playoffs. 3 will be eliminated tonight. As it stands, the 3 to be eliminated will be Jeff Hinkle, Jared Heasley, Kevin Reed. Kevin Reed has to win tonight and hope that the dice fall in his favor and some other cars have bad nights. That is his one chance. Harley Barletta does not grid. Harley Barletta did not make the grid here tonight. Now he is in the pits. We will see if he gets rolled out. Our championship points leader has not made the grid. What a turn of events. All right, one pace lap, and then we are going green flag racing. Looks like Jason is going up and pushing the pace car around the track, but the pace car is about to duck off here out of turn 4. Pace car dives off out of 4. Green flag is in the air. Round number 4 of the BRR playoffs has begun. Harley Barletta is rolling off pit road right now. The points leader is getting up off pit road. Off into turn 1, we fully expect a lot of the side-by-side battles we saw last night, and probably some 3-wide battles as well, and looking that way already. Garmin to the lead, though. Jason Rome looking to the bottom. Jared Heasley up there in third, trying to pick up some points here tonight and stay in the playoffs. Heasley makes a crossover move coming down the front straightaway under Jason Rome for second place. Harley Barletta is back on pit road. He had an issue getting off pit road. Let's take a quick look and see what happened. Will he be able to make it back out? Looks like he had to stop on the pit road exit. Not sure what happened there, but definitely hurts his championship hopes here tonight. Meanwhile, Garmin's still up in the lead. Heasley in second. Rome is in third. Kyle Holden in fourth. Kevin Reed in 5th. And here comes Jeff Hinkle on the bottom, Jody Ogden on the top. We saw 3 distinct lines being run here last night. The high line, the low line, and then more of an arcing line through the corner that some of the guys were running. You can't run that side by side, but different lines, different tire wears, different strategies. Jeff Hinkle, Jody Ogden still battling side by side. Kevin Reed, meanwhile, has picked up 2 positions already. Kevin trying to get up there at the front, hope for a miracle here tonight. And now we have got a battle going on as Jared Heasley is now to the lead. Garmin and Rome side by side for second. Excuse me. Jared Heasley way loose coming off turn 4, and they're going to be 3 wide down the front straightaway on lap number 5. Jason Rome claims the lead that lap. He shoots back up to get back and get his entry lined up. Jared Heasley a little wiggle mid-corner there, and he is going to get passed by a couple more cars. Here comes Kyle Holden, now Kevin Reed on the high side. And a quick check on the guys on the bubble. Richie West, currently in the playoffs. He is running in 8th. He's picked up 2 spots already and picking up another one now from Jody Ogden. However, Jeff Hinkle, 2 spots ahead, currently in 6th. These 2 guys are just 4 points apart. Additionally, Matt Johnston, who is 1 point ahead of Richie West, in 5th place, currently running in 12th. Matt seems to be struggling here early on. And meanwhile, not in the playoffs, but in the fight for the win is Jason Rome. Meanwhile, Jared Heasley's gotten a hold of that car again and now starting to make his way forward. He's on the high side and pulling back up into 4th place now. Looking for a line around Kevin Reed. Jason Rome drops to the bottom. David Garmin to the high side. Crossing the start-finish line, it was Garmin at the line. Kevin Reed now pulling up into 2nd place. Is he going to be able to get around Jason Rome? David Garmin and Jason Rome both already eliminated from the playoffs. David Garmin actually stepped aside prior to the playoffs, gave up his position so that somebody else could race. He knew he was going to be missing a few playoff races, and he is just out here to win. Jason Rome was eliminated, and he is fighting just to win a race here and there too. It is worth noting, if we have not had a caution by the start of lap 70, they will throw a competition caution and pull the field back together, get their pit stops in. 11 laps in, and Kevin Reed now to the lead. Kevin Reed came into tonight 13 points out of the playoffs. He is right where he needs to be to have a chance here tonight. He just needs to stay out front. Hope Lady Luck goes his way here, but with Jared Heasley right there, and Jason Rome almost taps David Garmin in the middle of the turn. And the guys at the back of the playoffs are really up here fighting for everything they got. Richie West now up to 7th. As they run now, Richie West would actually pick up 5th place. AJ Godsey, who started on the last row, he came into the night 4th in points, now running up in 9th. He's picked up 4 spots since the race started. Back up front, the top 6 still nose to tail and side by side all the way all around the track and building a lead on Richie West and Zach Henson back there. As Zach now making a move, he is trying to take 7th place from Richie. A little bit of leaning on each other coming out of turn 4. And now it'll be Zach Henson taking the position. They're going to have to work together. AJ Godsey is right there. They're going to have to work together if they're going to catch this lead group. They're about 1.3 seconds back from the lead group right now. But they have been not racing quite as hard back here. We'll see if they can get up there and catch back up. Maybe these guys burn their tires up. Jason Rome now back to the lead. That lead has changed countless times. They are battling for that top position literally every corner as now Kevin Reed goes to the high side and Kyle Holden looks low for second. Kyle Holden to second for the first time tonight. Kevin Reed slides back into 3rd place. Garmin right behind him with Jared Easley on the bottom. Jeff Hinkle right there at the back of the lead pack. They're 3 wide through 1 and 2. Heasley on the bottom, Garmin in the middle, Kevin Reed on the top. Kevin gets by. Kevin almost got a little bit of the wall there coming off turn 2, manages to hold on to it. Now it's Reed and Heasley. Heasley slides up and takes 3rd place. Up front, Jason Rome is actually building a lead. Huge shout out to him. I know he was looking forward to this one. He said he was even holding back in practice just so they didn't see what he had for tonight. And now Zach Henson has caught back up to the lead pack. He's brought Richie West almost all the way with him, and AJ Godsey is right there with him. Fully expected this race to stay extremely tight all night. They are not disappointing. Now Zach Henson back up into the lead group. Will he start running these guys down? Harley Barletta has not come back out on track. As Zach runs now, he would take the points lead. Kevin Reed up on the high side. He is going backwards. All of a sudden might have used his tires up. 19 laps in, the tires are definitely starting to show a little bit of wear here. And now Richie West closing in to pick up another position to get himself back up into 7th. And AJ Godsey looked briefly like he was going to try and make it 3 wide down the front straightaway. Backed off, thought better of it. Drops back just a little bit. And now, look there, Matt Johnston had fallen way behind just a few laps ago. He is now back up into this lead pack in 11th place. And this lead pack, all together, they're all still within the draft. 2.5 second splits, 1st place to 11th place right now. And Matt Johnston now moving up into 10th. Kyle Holden continues to maintain the lead, but now Jared Heasley is in 2nd. David Garmin now to 3rd. Jeff Hinkle is up to 4th. And here comes Zach Henson charging through the field up to 5th now. Jason Rome has dropped back to 6th. Richie West now moves into 7th, and he's going to bring AJ Godsey with him. Jody Ogden slots in briefly behind Kevin Reed. Kevin letting everybody get by easily. And huge shout out to Zach Bache. Good luck tomorrow night, man. I'm sure we'll be talking to you. Kyle Holden way out front now as Jared Heasley's lost a little bit of ground, about 0.6 of a second. And Garmin and Hinkle right there together. Zach Henson closing right back up to the back bumper of Hinkle here. They have opened up a gap again to this second group. Richie West now 1.3 seconds back. Now the question is, how many laps before this second group pulls right back up to the lead pack? AJ Gotze currently running in 7th. Jody Ogden in 8th. Matt Johnston in 9th. Several positions in the points have changed just since this race started, with Harley Barletta being out. He could drop as far as 6th place. That would slot everybody up one position. Then you got guys like Richie West, who is in front of Matt Johnston right now. He would move up into 4th. I'm guessing that by the time this night is out, the points will be completely upside down from the look of things. Hey, thank you very much, Zach. Really appreciate it, buddy. Garmin now back to 2nd place. Hinkle now up to 3rd. And here Jared Heasley is going backwards. And Zach Henson continues marching forward. Jared Heasley now drops back into 5th. He was up in that front. He's been in that front group battling for the lead since the start. And the position changes tonight have been crazy. We had some guys start way back and have moved their way forward, like Zach Henson, who has picked up 4 spots. He had actually dropped outside of the top 10 briefly. Now back up into 4th. Jeff Hinkle started in 9th, up to 6th. AJ Gotze started in 13th, up to 7th, following Richie West, who is in 6th after starting 10th. And Kyle Holden continuing to lead the field around. He has got almost 0.9 of a second now. But now everybody is thinking about strategy. 10 laps from now, they'll be inside their first pit window. Competition caution will happen at lap 70. Do they split it in half this time? What strategy will everybody use is now becoming the question. And Hinkle now getting past on the high side. Zach Henson looking for 3rd. Zach has a run. He is going to easily take 3rd from Hinkle. Hinkle said he was going to take it a little bit easy tonight, save a little bit of tire, try and make something happen. As they run right now, Jeff Hinkle would be in the playoffs. He would not be eliminated tonight. Garmin in 2nd. Zach Henson to his back bumper. They are over a 2nd behind that man, Kyle Holden, who has started to run away from the field. Jason Rome, the early leader, has now dropped back to 11th. Him and Kevin Reed both have fallen way back. They are back there with Mike Smith, 11th, 12th, and 13th. Those two, Jason Rome, Kevin Reed, both early leaders. Both have apparently used up their tires. Garmin now going to have a challenge from Kyle Holden. From Zach Henson. And will Zach be able to run down Kyle? Zach looking to the inside on Garmin as they go down the back straightaway. Zach has been running every single line on the track all night to pick up positions, working his way through the field rather quickly. Garmin not giving up, though. Up on the high side, he has the momentum. And we saw last night in the trucks, though, you have to have some kind of run to pick up the position on the bottom. Zach still trying to fight back on the inside. And now Jared Heasley's taking fourth place from Jeff Hinkle. And looks like Henson will clear Garmin this time. So Garmin really gets a run off turn 2 that time. Now Zach has a little drafting help from Jared Heasley. Jared drifts up mid-turn, and now Zach Henson securely into second. Garmin running right back to the back. Garmin is not giving up second place yet. David Garmin on the high side trying to run him down, but now Zach has the lead into 1 and 2, and Jared Heasley is going to come underneath as well. Heasley loses a lot of momentum mid-turn. Meanwhile, further back, Richie West continues to lead that second pack. Oh! AJ Godsey gets together with Jody Ogden. Jody in the wall. He manages to keep the car going the right way. Jason Rome has come to pit road. Jody Ogden has lost several positions. He's now back to 10th place. Trying to get back up to speed. It looks like he has some damage to the right front of the car. And to the right rear. The right rear really pancaked in a bit. We'll see if he makes the choice to make his pit stop now. Get some repairs. Harley Barletta now back out on track. Harley currently 33 laps down. David Garmin has given up third place to come to pit road. And the guys that are pitting right now, they are splitting that, anticipating this to stay green until lap 70. And the leader, Kyle Holden, ducks to pit road. Will everybody follow him? Jared Heasley does not, but Zach Henson does. Richie West stays out. Matt Johnston stays out. Now AJ Godsey and Rick Surgeon are on pit road. Mike Smith, David Garmin, Jody Ogden, all on pit road. Jared Heasley back to the lead while we are seeing our first round of green flag stops here. Next stop, as long as this stays green, the next stop will be at lap 70. Jeff Hinkle ducks to pit road. Jared Heasley staying out another lap. This strategy definitely stretching the tires and fuel to their limit. Definitely paid off last night in the first half of the truck race for Bill Percy. We'll see if Jared Heasley has the same luck with it. Bill Percy stayed out 5 laps longer than everybody else and managed to come storming back through the field all the way up to about 6th place before the competition caution. But Heasley now coming to pit road. Richie West will assume the lead. Move Kevin Reed back up into second. Kyle Holden now being scored third. Richie West has got to have his fingers crossed here, hoping for a lucky roll of the dice, and caution coming out right now. That would definitely benefit him. AJ Godsey's been to pit road. Matt Johnston has now been to pit road. Richie West, Kevin Reed are the only two that have not pitted. Richie West trying to stretch the fuel and tires as long as possible. Kevin Reed stays out again as well. AJ Godsey had a speeding penalty. So he will have to, I believe he has served his penalty. Kevin Reed has now been to pit road. Richie West is the only car that has not stopped. That is, AJ Godsey having a speeding penalty is huge. He came into the night 4th in points after a terrible first race at Pocono. A lot of technical issues. He spent the entire race 1 lap down. Climbed his way back up to 4th. This speeding penalty is really going to hurt, especially with Matt Johnston and Richie West so close in points. Richie West has got to be hoping for a caution right now, because if he does not get one, he is going to be in trouble. Richie West, hand out the window. Looks like he is coming to pit road. That will give the lead back to Kyle Holden here. Richie West does go to pit road. Kyle Holden now back to the lead with David Garman right on the back bumper. Zach Henson 1.5 seconds back. Rick Sargent now up to 5th. He has just had a great pit stop. He started dead last in 14th tonight. Has made his way all the way up to 5th now. Jason Rome back up in 6th. Hinkle back to 7th. Matt Johnston now to 8th. Jared Heasley is 9th. Jody Ogden now back to 11th as Mike Smith takes 10th. No, they're going to continue to battle for 10th and 11th here. AJ Godsey now all the way back in 12th. Harley Barletta in 13th. 2 of the top guys in the points having really, really difficult nights here. David Garman now staying right with Kyle Holden. This is not one of his favorite tracks. He says he always struggles at the 1.5 miles. Doesn't look like he's doing too terribly bad here tonight. Zach Henson back in 3rd is trying to close the gap down just a little bit. It's 1.5 seconds to those leaders. Rick now is almost 5 seconds behind Zach Henson in 4th, and there is the pack. 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th. Let's run you through the field now that they have completed green flag stops. Up front, Kyle Holden, followed immediately by the 06 of David Garman. Zach Henson in 3rd, and he actually, that last lap, gained 0.2 of a second. He is coming to the front. Rick Sargent now up to 4th. Jeff Hinkle is in 5th. Jared Heasley is dropping to 6th as it gets a little bit dicey back there. Matt Johnston in 7th, just got around Jason Rome, who is in 8th. Matt Johnston just working his way through the field steadily. He is now up to 7th. Rome is in 8th. Mike Smith now up to 9th place, and Jody Ogden is in 10th after the earlier incident. Richie West, after the later pit stop, is in 11th, but he's got the freshest tires out there. We'll see if he can make something happen with it. Kevin Reed back in 12th. Right there with him, AJ Godsey currently running in 13th, and Harley Barletta up in the mix in 14th. Harley Barletta currently 30 laps down. Top points guys having a rough night here tonight with both Harley Barletta and AJ Godsey. Harley Barletta not being able to start right away, and AJ Godsey the speeding penalty. But Zach Henson, Kyle Holden, both of those guys 2nd and 3rd in points. They are loving it. And Rick Sargent also charging through the field. Started in 14th, now up to 4th, trying to run down that lead group. They are almost 6 seconds ahead of him right now, but it appears he might actually be closing the gap just a little bit. Jared Heasley right behind him in 5th. Saw him up leading. He has led a couple of different times tonight. Matt Johnston in 6th. This group seems to be staying single file, at least for the moment. Mike Smith has moved up to 9th. Finally got around Jody Ogden. Looks like Jody has gotten the car repaired. And Richie West in 11th, 1.5 seconds back, but he is coming quickly. The last few laps, he has been the fastest. Remember, he stretched his tires longer than everybody. 19 laps until halfway when they will throw a competition caution. Definitely helps Richie out a bit having the fastest car on track. And when I say fastest car on track, by quite a bit. He is 0.4 of a second faster than the leaders right now. Running down Jody Ogden by almost a half a second a lap now. Kyle Holden starting to open up a gap again. Zach Henson has gotten around David Garman for second. And Richie West just went flying by Jody Ogden. He is now back up in the top 10. Now the question is, can Zach run down Kyle? Last time by, Kyle had the fastest lap by 0.2 of a second. But Zach was battling with Garmin. Now that he's got some clean air, let's see what their lap times look like here. That time by, Zach Henson just a little bit faster than Kyle Holden. Still the fastest one on the track by several tenths is Richie West. And he is charging forward. He is closing up on Mike Smith now. Last lap, Richie was 0.3 of a second or better than everybody else. Different strategies starting to play out here tonight. They'll all get a reset at lap 70, but all of them are going to learn something from this and see which strategy worked out the best. Kyle Holden, half a second lead right now. But last time by, Zach Henson was faster again. No, that time by, it was Kyle Holden by 0.05 of a second. And Richie West still 0.2 of a second faster than everybody else. Be interesting to see how far he can come through the field before the caution. Just 13 laps to get as much as he can here. And a battle going on. Jeff Hinckley on the bottom, Matt Johnston on the top. Matt trying to keep Jeff pinched down through the middle of the corner. Rick Sargent right there with him, trying to find a way around both of them. Rick still marching his way forward, up to 7th now after starting 14th. Oh, very close through 1 and 2 between Hinkle and Johnston there. Looks like Jeff's got a little bit of a run down on the inside. Matt has the advantage up on the high side. Jeff can't complete the pass yet, but neither can Matt. They're both fighting extremely hard. Oh, I think Matt might have tapped the wall just a bit there, coming off turn 2. And loses a little bit of momentum, and now it's going to be Jeff Hinkle moving forward. Let's see if we can get a closer look. If he did, it didn't really hurt the car, but it looks like he did tap it. Yeah, he did tap the wall just a little bit there. Zach Henson now losing ground to Kyle Holden. 0.6 of a second is the gap. Richie West has now gotten past Mike Smith. That moves him up to 9th, and he has Jason Rome right in his grasp. Last time by, Richie was a half a second faster than Jason. Move Richie West to 8th. Now he has a 5-second gap to Matt Johnston. I don't think he can close that gap in the next 9 laps. Kyle Holden continues to maintain the lead as we close in on the halfway caution. Most of the field starting to spread out just a little bit. The top 3 still fairly close. 4th place, Jared Heasley out in no man's land by himself. Jeff Hinkle now leading the second group of him, Rick Sargent, and Matt Johnston. Richie West back in 8th. Mike Smith now to 9th, and Jason Rome back to 10th. Jody Ogden 11th. Kevin Reed is 12th. And Kevin, after leading early, trying to get that Finelli Ironworks car up there to get the win tonight, all the way back to 12th, his chances of the championship may be disappearing as we watch. AJ Godsey came into tonight 4th in points. He is now running in 13th. However, he will get the lucky dog when the caution comes out. That will give him the chance to battle his way back to the front, and we've seen AJ come from further behind than that. Our points leader coming into tonight, Harley Barletta, late started the race, 30 laps down at the moment. All right, quick review where they stand in the points with Harley Barletta dead last. That's going to move everybody up. So Zach Henson, Kyle Holden, AJ Godsey, Matt Johnston, and Richie West. All of those guys, based on who's on the cars on track, all of those guys will pick up a position. Possibly Jeff Hinkle will move in, and Harley Barletta will move out of the playoff picture. As they run now, Kyle Holden would close the gap on Zach Henson to just 2 points. AJ Godsey would actually fall back and within the reach of Matt Johnston and Richie West. Points after tonight can be found at brrpoints.com. You can find it right there. You can find a link to it and free setups from htsai.net as well, and our broadcast schedule and a whole bunch of other awesome stuff. All right, just a couple of laps until we get our competition caution. A little bit of excitement and a lot of dominance by the 18 car. Kyle Holden, who started back in 5th, marched his way to the lead, has only given it up to go to pit road, and he continues to hold the gap over Zach Henson. 2 weeks from tonight. We will be off next Sunday night due to the 4th of July. 2 weeks from tonight, however, we will be at Dover. Your top 5 as they're about to come to the caution. Kyle Holden, Zach Henson, David Garman, Jared Heasley, Jeff Hinkle is the top 5. Rick Sargent marching his way up to 6th now. Matt Johnston up to 7th. Richie West has picked up another position. He is now up to 8th. Jody Ogden to 9th. Mike Smith now back to 10th. And Jason Rome in 11th. Kevin Reed in 12th. AJ Godsey in 13th. And the points leader coming into tonight, Harley Barletta in 14th as the competition caution waves. This will change a few things. AJ Godsey currently 1 lap down. He will get back to the lead lap and get an opportunity to fight his way back through. Everybody will come to pit road, and it will reset all of their pit strategies. And a couple of guys who have marched through the field have a chance to get 4 tires, fuel, and see if they can march further up. Guys like Rick Sargent, who started in 14th and is now up to 6th. Matt Johnston, who started in 12th and is now up to 7th. Zach Henson, who started in 8th and is now up to 2nd. So far, though, tonight, the dominant car right there, the 18 of Kyle Holden. And we are going to try and get a word with Kyle here once he gets into his pit box. Don't want to interrupt his trying to hit pit road here. Everybody is going to come down pit road this time. AJ Godsey, by being a lap down, will have to stay out. He'll get waved around and then go to pit road. All right, Kyle Holden on pit road. Let's see if we can catch a quick word with him. Hey, Kyle, this is Doug. You got me?
Hey, Doug, what's up?
Hey, are you by chance playing some MC Hammer in the car tonight? Can't touch this?
I sure wish.
You've definitely pulled away, and nobody has been able to close that gap on you tonight.
Oh, yeah, just been running my line, running my own pace, and it seems to just be working out. So hopefully we can just keep this moving forward.
You going to be able to walk away and open the gap up on Zach now that he's got fresh tires and be starting beside you?
I don't know. He's a good one here. He was about to win that truck race last night, so we'll see what he has here, and maybe he'll come home with the win. But who knows? It's gonna be a fun one.
All right, man. Well, best of luck to you, and hopefully we'll be talking to you in victory lane.
Yeah, thanks.
All right, Kyle Holden and AJ Godsey is now back to the lead lap. Let's see if we can get a quick word with him as he comes to pit road. AJ, this is Doug. You got me?
I got you, Doug.
Hey, speeding on pit road, I cannot remember the last time that happened to you.
Yeah, well, I got in here late because I was having issues getting things started and going, and then I didn't get no practice, so I just kind of missed my braking spot.
Well, you're back to the lead lap, and you're going to have 4 tires and fuel. You're going to be able to get up there and give Kyle and Zach a run for their money?
We're going to try. I really don't know. Like I said, I didn't get much practice here this week, so I'm just going to at least try to pick up a few spots and get as many points as I can.
All right, man. Well, best of luck to you, and hopefully you can get back up there and give them a run.
Good.
All right, that was AJ Godsey and Kyle Holden now up front. He'll have David Garman beside him. He'll have Zach Henson behind him. Jared Heasley is up there as well, and I'm going to try and get a word with Heasley. Jared, this is Doug. You got me?
going on, Doug?
Hey, man. Hey, you've had a heck of a run early in the run. Are you going to be able to find some long run speed this time and show these guys what's what?
We'll see. I mean, I have a surprising run so far, and see if I can throw something in there. But I think I'm going to need some luck. We'll see if I get a strategy that. Who knows? A lot of chaos.
That there has been a lot of excitement. Now, you've got these three guys up in front of you. Zach, Kyle have been pretty dominant all season, and Garmin doing surprisingly well on a mile and a half. You learned anything that first half of the race from watching them?
Yeah, I destroyed my tires in that first stint. The second stint, I did a lot better. So we'll see. I was kind of catching Dave there towards the end of that last stint. We'll see if I can use any of that to get a little bit better finish out of this and try to move on.
All right, man. Well, best of luck to you here.
Yep, thank you.
And that was Jared Heasley in the 32 car. That is the prettiest car in the field. See, ain't it pretty? He has something on the back bumper I just noticed, and I have no idea what it says. Let's go to the drone. Oh, yeah, it's his Twitch channel. Okay. You can find that on our Facebook page as well. He is the Cup setup builder for the HTSAI free setup, so definitely check those out. You can find out how to get those free setups at htsai.net. And I can tell you his our Coca-Cola 600 setups had several wins and a bunch of top fives and a lot of great finishes. Pace car is in. Now Kyle Holden's going to try and reassert his dominance here. Will the restart have any problems? Green flag is in the air. Kyle Holden gets a really good jump with Zach Henson. Everybody lined up back behind him. Everybody gets away cleanly. Jared Heasley right on the back bumper. It looked like Garmin did not get a good start. That outside line did not get moving. That allowed Kyle and Zach to get going. Jeff Hinkle picked up several positions there. Garmin now back to 4th. Jared Heasley dropped back to 6th. Here comes Matt Johnston now. Him and Richie West 1 point apart. There is Richie, and we saw him come through the field rather quickly after his pit stop. We'll see what strategy he tries this time. He is one that is on the bubble. The other one on the bubble, Jeff Hinkle, came into tonight 7th in points. He is currently running 3rd. Definitely still in the playoffs as they run right now, but with Harley Barletta's starting late, that changes everything for everybody. Meanwhile, AJ Gotze came into tonight 4th. Had the rough start, started at the back, got a speeding penalty. How far can he make his way back up through the field here tonight? And of course, Harley Barletta came into tonight points leader. He needs a miracle here to stay in playoffs and still have some kind of hope here. Back up front, it is single file for the top 4 or 5 spots as Jody Ogden has now made his way back up to 5th. Garmin on the high side, he is going backwards. Jody Ogden down to the bottom. And Jared Heasley briefly looked like he might make it 3 wide there, thought better of it. Jody Ogden not in the playoffs. He had been out of BRR for several months. Finally getting back to racing. Glad to have Jody back. We were all extremely happy to see him back, and he definitely has not lost his touch. And it is getting really sketchy up here as Garmin on the high side now back up to 2nd. He had drifted back a couple spots on that eye line. Finally got it hooked up, and there he goes. Jared Heasley to 2nd. Zach Henson now back to 3rd. Or David Garmin to 2nd, excuse me. And here comes Jared Heasley now back up to 4th. And if I just did my math, Jared Heasley's actually now kind of on the bubble for playoffs here. But here comes Richie West trying to hold on to his playoff hopes. Kevin Reed as well, fighting back on the outside. Richie said he was not going to be watching the points and the positions of the other drivers he's racing with too terribly close tonight. Heard the same thing out of Jeff Hinkle as well prior to the race. Jared Heasley and Kevin Reed both having to battle their way to stay into the playoffs. Matt Johnston kind of there on the bubble, 1 point ahead of Richie West in 5th coming into tonight. And what a race they are having up front. Because here comes Jared Heasley fighting around David Garman down to the inside. Can't quite do anything with him. And Zach Henson now back up into 2nd. Now does Zach have anything for Kyle here? He starts looking to the inside. Heasley now getting a run on the bottom. Can he make it stick through 1 and 2? Zach Henson battling for the lead. He's had several wins this season. He knows how to get the job done, and Heasley's going to go with him. Heasley's going for 2nd again. And they're 3 wide right behind as Jody Ogden gets around Jason Rome trying to battle past David Garman. They were briefly 3 wide with Garman on the outside, Ogden in the middle, and Jason Rome on the bottom. Jason Rome taking a little bit more conservative approach the last few weeks, trying to keep that car alive. Doing a great job here tonight. And now Zach Henson in the lead has finally gotten around Kyle Holden. Let's see how it happened. As we saw earlier, coming down the back straightaway, it's the first time anybody's been able to get around Kyle here tonight. And Zach just drove away from him after that happened. Kyle currently able to hold Jared Heasley off. We heard Jared say he's changing up his strategy, is driving just a little bit to try and stay in contention here. Now Garman down to the bottom. He had ate up his tires in the first half of the race. AJ Godsey has now picked up 3 spots. He is up to 10th, and he's got Kevin Reed and Jeff Hinkle right there. Richie West right behind him as well. Back up front, the lead group, despite being side by side, is actually opening up a little bit of a lead over this second group, but Jeff Hinkle just goes flying by Kevin Reed and is now going to close back up to the back bumper of Matt Johnston. And AJ Godsey continues marching forward. He's going to get past Kevin Reed now. Not quite yet. Kevin knows how to battle for a position in a championship battle. First season of BRR, Kevin and I battled for 3rd place at the end of the season, and it was a close one. But now AJ finally completes the pass, move him up to 8th, and he will set his sights on Jeff Hinkle. Jeff now, as they're continuing to battle, Jason Rome up there on the bottom, and David. Oh, Jason comes right across the nose of Matt Johnston, almost gets him. Garmin way up by the wall, almost in it. Matt Johnston looking everywhere for a way around Jason here. Can't do anything with him. Matt keeps looking like he's going to send it in there 3 wide, and with AJ and Jeff right behind him, he might have to. This is where the battle is going to be. Kyle Holden, Zach Henson, Jared Easley, they're all staying single file up here. These guys are battling for every position, every point they can here. Garmin goes backwards, slides down across, almost gets into Jeff Hinkle. Jeff has to get evasive down the back straightaway. Great save by Garmin. Great evasive driving by Jeff Hinkle. Matt Johnston finally has found a way around Jason Rome. He had to go to the apron to do it. Now that they're no longer side by side, as Garmin backed out of it. Now Garmin dropping way back into 10th. Meanwhile, up front, Kyle Holden is back to the lead. He managed to get around Zach. And you got to wonder if these two are just going to trade that top position for the remainder of the night. I don't think they're going to hold on to it for long, because back and forth, closing down on the both of them, Jody Ogden. And right now, running faster laps than all 3 cars in front of him. Jody may not be out here for points, but you can bet he is out here trying to get that win. Jody closing way close to Jared Heasley quite rapidly as we're starting to see the first of the pit stops. David Garmin and Jason Rome both now to pit road. They can probably make it from here on fuel, but can they hold on to their tires? This is a bit of an early stop. Garmin now back up off pit road. And Jared Heasley still running with the top 2, trying to keep his playoff hopes alive here tonight. As we mentioned, it came into tonight, 9 drivers still in the playoffs. After tonight, it will be only 6 of them, but everything went upside down and back to front when points leader Harley Barletta didn't start. AJ Godsey gets a 4th in points, gets a speeding penalty, and never mind about AJ. He is now back up to 5th. After being a lap down at lap 70, coming to the competition caution, he gets waved around. He's back up into 5th. Richie West now up to 6th. Jeff Hinkle has dropped a couple of spots back to 7th, but don't count Hinkle out yet. He is the king of tire saving in BRR. Matt Johnston, who's been as high as 5th tonight, he is currently back there in 8th. Him and Richie came into the night 1 point apart, with Matt in 5th, Richie in 6th. You know Richie's going to be pedaling as hard as he can to try and keep Matt behind him. Back up front, Kyle Holden and Zach Henson still running nose to tail. Jared Heasley still right there with him. Jody Ogden now has come into play. Zach Henson, Kyle Holden, and Harley Barletta, AJ Godsey just dominated the first part of the season. They all combined for the most wins. AJ Godsey won the last 3 races after a rough start at Pocono. We'll see he won the last 2. As we're starting to see more green flag stops, Richie West, AJ Godsey now on pit road. Jason Rome has not come back up off pit road. He did not have any issues. Not sure what happened, but Yeah, there you have it. Hopefully AJ does not get another speeding penalty. Richie West now on pit road. They're hoping their tire strategy will work out. 41 laps to go. They can all make it on fuel. They just have to stretch those tires. And they all still have an extra set of tires. After this stop, they'll have an extra set in reserve in case of a late race caution. So this might be the strategy to go with. We'll have to wait and see. They'll definitely be running these guys down. We saw what just 5-lap fresher tires did for Richie West in that second stint. We'll see if he can make it to the front. Jeff Hinkle now comes to pit road. Mike Smith now up to 8th. He is back in contention. Interesting fact, in a non-playoff point system, Mike would have been in the top 5 in both trucks and in Cup, and would have been just a few points out of the lead in the trucks, as we discovered last night. So a bit of a interesting little fact. Mike definitely has some speed here tonight as he closes back to the back bumper. Kevin Reed came into tonight 9th in points. He needed a win and a miracle to stay in the playoffs. He led, as he gets into the wall, almost gets into Matt Johnston coming off turn 2. Matt gets down on the apron to get evasive, but he is going to lose a couple of spots. Matt gets back up. Matt going to go ahead and duck onto pit road. Matt has some damage now. Tough break for both Matt and Kevin. Matt should be able to recover with a quick repair and 4 fresh tires. Seeing a lot of guys come to pit road already. Probably not the strategy he was going for, but he still can make that work. Kyle Holden continues to lead. Zach Henson is right there with him. Jared Heasley and Jody Ogden 3rd and 4th. 5th, currently Rick Sargent. Mike Smith is now moved up to 6th. Mike Smith and Kevin Reed had a brief battle there. Here comes AJ Godsey after a green flag pit stop, charging past these guys. They restarted on lap 74, went 25 laps, and then pitted for tires, knowing they could go the distance from there. But as fast as AJ is making his way through, who knows what kind of strategy they may try at the end. Jared Heasley, Mike Smith, and Kevin Reed all now on pit road. Kyle Holden, Zach Henson, Jody Ogden, and Rick Sargent are the only 4 that have not pitted yet. Definitely a huge difference in pit strategy from the first half of the race. And Kyle Holden's starting to open up that gap again. He said he was just running his line, not really pushing, and it seems to be working for him as one of the dominant drivers this season. Zach Henson is getting left in the dust. Rick Sargent, we've only talked about him once or twice, but here he is, back up into 4th. Late in the run, coming to the yellow at halftime, Rick had worked his way up into the top 5. Here we are earlier into the second half of the race, and he is already back up into 4th. And he is going to have AJ Godsey right behind him. However, as AJ comes past him, AJ is still 1 lap behind. So this will not be for position yet. He is AJ just trying to unlap himself. And if Kyle Holden and Zach Henson, Jody Ogden, and Rick Sargent are watching their timing and scoring closely, they may know that they are in trouble. AJ Gotze in 5th, making his way forward, just gets past Rick Sargent. Another one charging forward who just went to pit road, Jared Heasley. You got to wonder about the tire strategy here. These guys pitted way earlier than they needed to. They'll have to run this entire 40 plus on old tires, or on a single set of tires, as Rick Sargent now dives to pit road. Maybe they will force these guys to pit early. If they force Kyle Holden, Zach Henson, and Jody Ogden to pit early, they could actually get another pit stop, another set of tires, and if they have really good pit stops, they might be able to make up time on pit road. Several different strategies going here now. Matt Johnston, after the contact earlier with Kevin Reed, his car is repaired. He is tucked right between 1st and 2nd. Currently running in 11th and about to unlap himself. He will now be back on the lead lap. Zach and Kyle really got to start thinking about getting to pit road here. Matt jumps to the high side. He goes on by. Kyle Holden comes to pit road. Zach Henson comes to pit road. Jody Ogden, all three come to pit road. The lead will go to AJ Gotze. And will strategy pay off here? AJ Gotze will claim the lead when he comes back across the start-finish line. We'll take a look, but it has been more than 5 laps since AJ pitted. Those guys on fresher tires, they will come through the field like we saw Richie West do earlier. But will they have enough to get back up here to AJ? And Jared Heasley now picking up some positions. Harley Barletta, the heartbreak of the race, having to start from pit road, had issues, started running 30 laps down after starting the race in having the points lead. He is definitely not going to pull off the win here tonight. He cannot make up 30 laps in 27 laps to go. Bit of a heartbreak there, as Harley has had a very, very strong season and a very, very strong playoff. And AJ Gotze, he rolled the dice here in Vegas with that early stop. Let's take a look at some pit strategy here and just see. So AJ Gotze, one of the first ones to come down pit road. He's already got 16 laps on his tires. Jared Heasley stopped 8 laps later. Then you got Henson and Holden, who just came off pit road. So they have 18 lap fresher tires than our leader, and 8 lap fresher tires than our second place car. Now the question becomes, do they have enough time to close back up? Zach Henson definitely does. He is right to the back bumper of second place Jared Heasley. And he is just going to drop to the inside, coming down the back straightaway. Off into turn 3, he will easily take second place and now be just under 2 seconds behind AJ Gotze, and a lot faster. Last time by was his fastest lap of the race, and he was a full second faster than AJ Gotze. All right, so as they run, after what could be our last run of green flag stops, AJ Gotze currently runs in first, but that is not going to last. Zach Henson is moving to the front. Jared Heasley is in third. Kyle Holden in fourth. Jody Ogden back up into fifth. Jeff Hinkle in sixth. Kevin Reed is back up inside the top 10 in seventh. Richie West up to eighth now. Rick Sargent to ninth, and Matt Johnston is in 10th. And Zach Henson now looking to the inside of the 5-car of AJ Gotze. He is going to take the lead with 23 laps to go. AJ has older tires, can do nothing with him. Don't forget to check out the website, htsai.net. You can find our broadcast schedule there and a whole lot of other exciting stuff like free setups. And you can watch us build setups live tomorrow. Kyle Holden came down pit road the same time as Zach. He is now back and forth. They came in almost nose to tail, but now Zach has opened up a 3-second lead. Kyle Holden, however, has been the fastest all night. We will see if he can close back up to the back bumper of Zach Henson and make something happen. He has closed back up on Jared Heasley. Now he will get an easy time around him. Jody Ogden stopped at the same time as Kyle and Zach. He easily gets by Jared Heasley as well. Now Kyle has a 2-second gap until he gets to second place, AJ Gotze. As AJ gets the 20 to go here from second place, Zach Henson has already opened up 1.25 seconds. And Kyle Holden, just since the start-finish line, has closed by a quarter of a second. As it stands now, Zach Henson will continue, or will take the points lead. Kyle Holden will move up into second. AJ Gotze should maintain third. Richie West should move to fourth. Matt Johnston to fifth, and then the question becomes, did Harley Barletta score enough points Jason Rome now back out on track. It appears David Garman is out of the race. But did he retire from the race early enough that it will make a difference for Harley Barletta? It looks like it will. And if anything happens to Jason Rome in the next 20 laps, Harley Barletta could end up coming home 12th. Right now, Zach Henson has the lead. Kyle Holden and Jody Ogden have now gotten around AJ Gotze. They're up to second and third and trying to run down Zach Henson. Zach had a 3-second lead just a few moments ago. It is now 2.75 seconds. These two are definitely gaining on him. If they work together, they could catch back up very quickly. But at what point does Jody start battling for second? Zach Henson out front has got to be watching his relative very closely, seeing how close these guys are getting to him. Jared Heasley and AJ Gotze both stopped very early, trying a different tire strategy. Obviously not paying off. AJ led quite a few laps, but was easily passed by guys who stopped 20 laps later than he did. Richie West, on that same strategy, has now dropped back to 9th. But he has 10 seconds over Matt Johnston with 15 laps to go, so he will get the point. They may go into They may go into Dover in 2 weeks with tied for 5th in points. Or 4th in points, I believe. Zach Henson's lead, he lost another 1/4 of a second last time around. But 14 laps to go and a 2.5 second lead. These guys have got to start closing that gap a lot faster than they are. Last time by, they were only a 1/10.5 faster than Zach Henson. And if you're Zach Henson, you're probably holding a little bit in reserve in case of a... Mike Smith has come to pit road suddenly. You gotta wonder if this is a strategy play for him or not. Harley Barletta has moved up to 13th, and he is 6 laps behind Jason Rome. Not sure what is up with scoring. I do believe it is due to a connection issue. Mike Smith is actually being showed a ton of laps down when in reality he shouldn't be. "11 laps to go for Zach Henson. 2.25 second lead right now. Over the last 3 laps, Kyle Holden has only closed down about 1/4 of a second. Kyle Holden with the help of Jody Ogden, they are only running 1/100th of a second faster. Or I'm sorry, 1/10 of a second faster each lap. And Kyle is actually starting to pull away from Jody, so no help there. AJ Godsey continues to maintain 4th. Jared Heasley running in 5th. As he runs, it will not be enough points to keep his playoff hopes alive. Jeff Hinkle, currently in 6th on the track, came into tonight 4 points behind Richie West. As he runs, it'll be very, very close, but I believe Richie West will come out on top. However, if Jeff Hinkle can pick up another position from Jared Heasley, it might be enough to keep his playoff hopes alive. Kevin Reed came into tonight, long shot to win. Long shot to stay in the playoffs. He led early. It looked like he might have something. He rolled the dice at Vegas, and they did not fall in his favor. Zach Henson just put Matt Johnston 1 lap down. Now he's got a little bit of a buffer, but holy cow, Kyle Holden is sending it. 7 laps to go, and he has closed the gap to 1 3/4. Probably not going to be able to close it, but he is giving it everything he's got. Coming down the front straightaway, he came off 4 and just shot straight across the track. Made a straight line from turn 4 to turn 1. Let's see if he does it again. That was truly impressive. There he is up by the wall. He just turns it. No, he does not go to the apron this time. Last time he was on the apron just making a straight line to right there. He gained 1/10 of a second that time. It will not be enough. Jody Ogden right there in 3rd place, right on the back bumper. AJ Godsey too far back to do anything with the top 3, but firmly in 4th place now. Jared Heasley in 5th. He's got a 2-second lead over Jeff Hinkle. Pretty much a gap between every driver for the remainder of the top 10. No positions will change except possibly these two. 5 laps to go for Zach Henson. Four laps to go now for Zach Henson as he crosses the start-finish line. He still has a 1-second lead. Kyle Holden has to gain a 1/4 second a lap to have any chance at him. Matt Johnston right there in front of him, giving some drafting help. And I guarantee you right now there's some discussions going. Matt Johnston, Kyle Holden, and Zach Henson all in the same voice chat right now, all on the same radio channel. And I guarantee you there's some discussions going on. They got Matt to move quickly. 0.8 seconds for Kyle Holden to catch him. Coming down, it'll be 2 laps to go. Kyle is sending it. He was 0.2 seconds faster last lap. Now is fighting with the lap car, Matt Johnston. Now 2 laps to go. What is the gap here? 0.6 seconds and closing rapidly. Kyle was over 0.2 seconds faster that time. He might get to him, but will he be able to get around him? Will he use the chrome horn? 0.5 second separates first and second now. Jody Ogden too far back in 3rd to have any impact on it. White flag is in the air. If Kyle's going to do something, he has got to send it now. He has closed the gap down to 0.4 seconds. He is closing on him quickly. They come out of turn 2, just 0.4 seconds still, and it closes quickly through 3 and 4. 0.3 seconds. Not going to be enough here tonight. Zach Henson will win at Las Vegas. Kyle Holden comes home 2nd. Jody Ogden now into 3rd. AJ Godsey in 4th. Jared Heasley comes home 5th. Jeff Hinkle comes home 6th. Rick Surgeon is in 7th. Kevin Reed is 8th. Richie West comes home 9th. Matt Johnston is 10th. Mike Smith, Jason Rome, Harley Barletta, and David Garman rounding out the field. Heartbreak of a night for Barletta. We'll have to wait until the points are tallied to know if he managed to stay in the playoffs. In the meantime, let's see if we can get a hold of our winner. Hey, Zach, this is Doug. You got me?
Yes, sir. I got you.
And this is becoming all too common.
I'm just surprised I got a win on 1.5 miles.
Well, you and Kyle, you couldn't get around him that first half, but whatever your strategy was there at the end, it definitely paid off, and you managed to get around him and then walk away from him for a bit.
I knew I had to really get him on pit road entry and try not to miss my box the best I could. I saw that I just barely edged him out coming out of the pits.
Well, it was enough. You managed to get away, and those last few laps, he was gaining sometimes by as much as 1/4 second. Were you worried about holding him off?
He was hauling. Oh yeah, I was worried about the last 3 laps. I didn't think I had any left in the tires.
It got really close. It actually ended. You had right at 0.2 second difference, but there was 1 or 2 laps there in the last 10 that he gained 0.5 second a lap. But man, heck of a run.
Appreciate it. This one goes out to Steven. I'm confident.
All right, man. Congratulations. Heck of a run. You do take the points lead tonight and put a little gap on Kyle as well.
All right, appreciate it. I'm looking forward to Dover. It's a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah. I think we're all looking forward to Dover.
All right.
See you, man.
Appreciate it.
All right. I am going to try and talk to Kyle real quick because Hey, Kyle, this is Doug. You got me?
Hey, Doug, what's up?
Hey, did you have any send left after that last few laps? Because, man, that was nuts how close you were, how fast you were gaining on him.
I think I had something. If we just had a couple more laps left, I would have had something. But it was a challenge to get up there with him. I'm just glad, I was able to put something in there. But I was hoping I could get the win there. But it is what it is, and maybe we'll get him next week.
Well, he gains 1 point on you. If I've done my math correctly, you will be in second place. You will actually have opened up a little bit more on AJ, 1 or 2 points. And so you two are going to continue moving forward.
Awesome. That's what I like to hear. I look forward to next week, and hopefully we can get it done.
All right, man. Congratulations, buddy.
Thank you.
All right, and let me see if I can reach one person in particular. Hey, Jody, this is Doug. You got me?
Oh.
Hey, man. Hey, I know it wasn't a win, but, man, you had a heck of a run tonight.
Well, I was doing pretty good, I guess. Because my tire's a little bit better, and that made a big difference.
Well, and you definitely, like you say, you had a heck of a run tonight. Sounded like you were having fun, and you were making your way through the field. Every time you got to the back, you just kind of charged back through.
Well, it's about all you can do, really.
Well, you've definitely shown you are back in full force. Congratulations on third, bud.
Oh, thanks, Doug. Appreciate it.
All right, Jody Ogden comes home, and I'm going to see. I don't know if he'll want to talk to me or not. Nope, Harley Barletta has yeeted himself out of here. I imagine that was a rough one. Don't forget to tune in tomorrow night. We will have the Outlaws Dirt. They're doing their fun races for a couple of weeks, so we'll have that and see what kind of shenanigans they're up to tomorrow night. And then they will go on to their next season of dirt racing here in a couple of weeks. So we'll have Outlaw Monday, as always. Tuesday night, we'll be back with XCal Street Stocks. Wednesday night, we will have the Outlaws back again for some asphalt and dirt. So a lot of asphalt, a lot of dirt, a lot of fun coming. Don't forget to hit that share button. Show some love. You can find these race videos later tonight on YouTube. Thank you all so much for tuning in. This has been one heck of a race from Vegas. Some guys rolled the dice and came out ahead, and some lost. What happens in Vegas probably not going to stay in Vegas after that race. Thank you all for tuning in. Have a wonderful night.